Hi, this is Polly from thefitmumformula.com talking to you about diet pills today. Now, I'll be honest, I've only ever read negative stories about diet pills, the sort of horror stories that hit the headlines, and also even on forums and discussions, people generally give the opinion that they're stupid, they don't work, they're unnecessary, they're dangerous. People, you should focus on food and exercise first and foremost. However, there's a reason that you get those spam emails into your inbox every day trying to sell you the things, and that's because an amazing amount of people do actually buy them and use them. Now, sounds a bit contradictory, so I'm thinking perhaps there's a lot of people using them but not admitting to it. I don't know why. Maybe they fear that they'll be judged, or that people will try and dissuade them from using them. Whatever it is, these people do use them and they genuinely believe that they work. Now, diet pills can work in various different ways. I'm not going to be talking about individual brands or even individual ingredients because there are just so many of them. The different types can be plant-based, they can be chemical-based, they can be herbal. Sometimes they're Chinese herbs. There's medicines, there's extracts of things that are actually medications for medical conditions. Even things that you'd put into cars and engineering. There's all sorts of different ingredients, so I'm not going to go and speak about individual ones. I'm just going to give you an overview today. They can work in various ways. Obviously, that's if they do work. They can work by reducing hunger, so you're going to eat less. They can reduce the amount of food that you absorb. Now, you can get ones that are called carb blockers, which obviously they state that whether they work or not, they state that they prevent absorption or reduce absorption of sugar and carbohydrates. And also you can get ones that are known as fat blockers, which do the same. They stop you absorbing so much of the fat that you eat from the diet. Now, there's some unpleasant side effects with the fat one in particular. If you imagine, fat's a very oily, greasy kind of thing. If you're not absorbing it, you're eating it. It's in a lot of foods. Even if you try and eat a very fat-free diet, there is some fat in it. So if you're taking these things and it's blocking the absorption, it's going to come out somewhere. Where do you think that's going to come out? Not pleasant. And again, whether it actually results in weight loss is highly debatable, but the side effects of some of these things, just to start with. Okay, another reason that they possibly can work is by speeding up your metabolism. So basically makes your body burn up more calories than you would do without taking the things. Some of them are addictive, so over time your body might get used to these, so they don't have such an effect, and you have to take more of them to get the same effect, which again can come with more side effects if you can overdose on these things, obviously, as well. But even the ones that are non-addictive, that's how they work. They'll basically speed up your metabolism and make you burn off more calories. Now, there's a lot of issues with these things. Now, firstly is, do they even work? Well, again, there's so many different types, so many different ingredients that you can't pinpoint and say they do or don't. Some of them don't work at all. It's purely placebo, and you might take one of these pills, but subconsciously you're also making a lot more of an effort to clean up your diet and things, so maybe you're losing weight that way and you attribute it to the pills, but it wasn't the pills at all. Some of them do have evidence that the substance itself does have an effect, say for example speeding up your metabolism, but a lot of the time it is such a tiny effect that it is not actually going to make any difference in the slightest the amount of weight you lose, but nevertheless it does have a minuscule effect. So therefore the manufacturers and the producers can say that this stuff is proven to have this effect. An actual dose that would work, you probably have to take buckets and buckets and buckets of things, and who takes buckets literally of pills a day? You just don't do that. There's probably lots of side effects that come with that as well. So realistically, these things, even the stuff that does have an effect, is probably so minute it actually in real life won't have an effect. Then there are the ones that have too much of an effect. Now, one thing you may have seen in the papers is one called DNP. I've seen quite a few stories about DNP. Now, what that does is speed up your metabolism. It does it very well. If you imagine somebody who has a fast metabolism is quite often those sorts of people feel quite warm quite easily. I know I've got quite a healthy fast metabolism, so I don't get cold very easy. I'm often quite warm, and that's because my body is using up calories to produce that heat. So what this DNP stuff does is it does that as well, but your body overheats so much that you die. You basically cook yourself to death. And the very unfortunate thing about DNP is that so far nobody has actually found an antidote to this. So if you are rushed to A&E having taken this stuff and your body is literally burning up inside, there is nothing anybody can do. And all people can do is hope for the best and hope that it wasn't actually a lethal dose. But unfortunately, they're not the stories that you've seen by the headlines, you've seen by the stories that are in the papers. Often it doesn't turn out that way at all. So yes, it works, but not in the way that you want it to at all. So let's get down to the nitty gritty of this here. Do diet pills work? Absolutely, some of them can work. But the problem is they're so poorly regulated that you never know quite what you're taking. It is so easy to take something that is not only ineffective but downright lethal. At best they're going to be completely ineffective and do nothing. At worst they could kill you. You just never know. And quite frankly, they're completely unnecessary. I know it's very hard to stick to a diet. For some people, they find it really, really difficult, and that's why you've got coaches like myself and other trainers and weight loss coaches. That's what we're here for, to try and help you through that process. But yes, it's not the easiest thing in the world, but it's actually quite a simple concept. You need to eat fewer calories than you're burning. So you need to eat less and you need to move more. Now that's a completely oversimplistic way of saying it, I know, but that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. So please don't turn towards the diet pills. If you are really, really struggling and you're tempted to go down that route, please just reach out, contact me, polly@thefitmumformula.com, or contact me, Pollyanna Hale, on Facebook, or at my page, The Fit Mum Formula. And we'll have a chat and we'll see if there's something else you can do that doesn't have quite so many side effects, like including death, and could probably be a lot more beneficial and effective in the long run. Okay, I hope that was helpful. That's Polly from thefitmumformula.com, and please, you could save a life actually if you share this video. Please share it, especially with people you think, if you know somebody who's taking these and you think that they're not aware of the side effects and the consequences. Please share it with them. But if we can raise awareness and get people back into just being healthy naturally, it would be so much better for everybody. So thank you very much. That's Polly from thefitmumformula.com.